Good morning to our lecturer, Miss Fiona, and my fellow friends. Today, I'm going to introduce my group members. Start with our group leader. First of all, leader that have been chosen by our group is Naseem bin Suaran Singh alias Muhammad Reza. He is 22 years old, currently in semester 2, taking Bachelor of Business Administration in E-commerce. Our next group member is Muhammad Danyal bin Muhammad Iqmal. He is 24 years old, currently in semester 2, taking Bachelor of Business Administration in E-commerce. The next one is Khairul Anwar Naim bin Haleman. He is 25 years old, currently in semester 4B, also taking Bachelor of Business Administration in E-commerce. The next one is Emily Go. She is 22 years old, currently in semester 5, also taking Bachelor of Business Administration in E-commerce. Last but not least, let me introduce myself. My name is Hafiza binti Mahrop. I am 24 years old, currently in semester 4A, also taking Bachelor of Business Administration in E-commerce.
Hello everyone, I am Danyal and I'll be presenting about the personality of my group members, but before that I would like to explain the factors in the personality test. There are 5 factors. First, we have factor 1, which represents extroversion. Some call it positive emotionality or urgency. Extroversion means outgoing or being social. Next is factor 2. It represents emotional stability or negative emotionality. Factor 3 represents agreeableness. A person who scores factor 3 can be categorized as friendly or optimistic. Factor 4 represents conscientiousness. People who scores this factor appears to be diligent. Lastly, factor 5 represents intellect. People who scores this factor are always open to experiences. Now, presenting my group mates. First, we have Naseem. Based on the personality test result, Naseem scores extroversion the highest and also the highest among the group members. Judging from this result, we can conclude that Naseem is an outgoing person with a very emotional stability, a person who is friendly in his own ways but very weak intellectually and diligently. Next, we have Khairul. Judging from his test results, Khairul is intellectual and emotionally stable, which is the most stable among the group members, by the way. But it seems like Khairul is an introvert and less likely to be optimistic. Moving on to Hafiza. Hafiza is a very social person with a very emotional stableness, less optimistic and intellect, but is a very careful person. Next, we have Emily. Based on her result, her factor 1 results indicates that Emily is an introvert who is diligent. Lastly, we have Danyal. Based on his result, he is a very introvert person, the most introvert person in the group with a poor score of emotional stability. Neutral when it comes to agreeableness, but a very intellectual person who is always open for experiences. That is all from me. I'll pass the floor to Emily. Thank you.
So my part is to talk about why we elect Naseem as a group leader based on his score. So as you can see, Naseem actually scored 58 on extroversion, 48 on emotional stability, and 45 on agreeableness, 31 on conscientiousness, and 28 on intellect. So out of the group members, we have all compared our score, and we thought that Naseem would be great if he become the group leader of ours. So the first factor of Naseem is extroversion, which is he got the highest one score at 58. And then for my opinion, extroversion is very important for a leader to have. It is because that when a leader got extroversion, he can always handle with everyone of the group member, no matter the member are introverted, but he can always make us comfortable talking to him. So I think this is the first advantages. When he is the leader, we can talk to each other easily, and then we can not be so shy, and we can talk more on our group work. So on Nasim emotional stability, he scored at 48. So I think it is very important for a leader to have a very good emotional stability, where he can try to control his emotional and not being angry or grumpy all the time if he leads us. So I think this is one of the most important factor that a group leader needs. The third factor is agreeableness. So he scored at 45. It is a very good score because a group leader needs to listen to every member, each of member ideas and thought, where he can agree with every one of us and make a conclusion where everyone is happy about it. So I think the agreeableness is very important for a group leader to play a good role. For the fourth factor is conscientiousness, where Nasim scored 26 of it, the lowest among the score that he scores. But I think this is conscientiousness is a quality of wishing to do one work duty well and truthfully. I think this is quite important in playing roles, where because Nasim will make sure that everyone have a good and do everything, do our own job, our own task perfectly or even well. And the fifth factor is intellect, where Nasim scores 28, as we can see from the chart. And I think a group leader is very important to have an intellect. It is to show that whether this group leader, whether they can think out of the box and can do things differently and can do things with their own creativity. So when a group leader has intellect, it is very good for the group members and for the group. So I think this is the reason why we choose Nasim to become our group leader. Our group member will support Nasim being the group leader because he's the best person we can thought of. Yeah, and that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Khairul. Today I'm going to present of developing trust with member with different personality. The personality style of individuals who must trust each other is integral part of developing their trust. Communication plays a major role in developing trust with members. It is important to listen to the views of others with a motive to understand rather than just to reply. There should be an understanding nature at very first place. By demonstrate that communication is important by consistently sharing info with the group, the more you share with your team members, the better the result of doing tasks will be performed. So this one, communication is very important because it helps to develop trust with team members. Without communication, there will be a lot of misunderstanding. So by working together and trust together, they have to communicate clearly what they want and what they don't want in the group. So the second one is knowing each other. The way to build trust is to encourage the team members to see their members as a people. Members that have different personality care about criticism that have their personal stories, and to bond by start sharing some personal information about themselves with icebreaking. So people who come from the other places when they join the group, they need to introduce themselves, share some stories about themselves, information, and what their interest is, what they don't like, and what they like to team members. This is the important because it helps to develop bond and also trust with each other for the long for the for the long term. So the last one will be encourage them self-organize. People with different personalities start trusting each other when they learn math when they learn make decision together. That's why it's important for teams to take on some leadership for themselves. The more self-direct the team is, the more they learn to trust each other. Not only that, it can also drive job satisfaction and also motivates it. So this one, even though that group members have a leader, but the leader should listen to their opinions of their group members without neglecting their opinions. The team members should be aware and should be listen to the group members of the opinions. Members of opinions should be can be agreeable or disagreeable, but it helps to develop trust in the group when working together as a team.
Hello everyone, I'm Naseem and I'm the current leader for Group 1. So I would like to conclude my teammates' presentation for this day. So I would like to summarize with Hafiza have already explained about the group members, and secondly about Daniel have already explained about the big five personalities. So I'd like to recap it again. So the first one is extroversion. So extroversion is someone who are more to someone who is extrovert, someone who is how you're able to socialize with others. So the ones who have low scores are usually the person who is introvert, which is someone who who love to be a loner. So a second factor, is emotional stability. So emotional stability is about a person who is able to control his emotions. So the person with the low scores are usually the person who have a very high tendency of emotional stability. That means that they are more tended to be uncontrollable on towards their emotions. So the third factor is agreeableness. So agreeableness is someone who is able to agree towards their teammates' ideas and also opinions. The ones who have a low score towards agreeableness is someone who is very hard-minded and a person who is a very selfish person. Would like don't really want to consider about the ideas of their own teammates. So the fourth one is about consciousness. So consciousness is someone who is a very careful person and a very diligent person. So the ones who have a very low scores are tendently to be disorganized. And finally is about intellect. So intellect is more towards openness towards imaginations and also ideas. So intellect, we were the ones who have low scores are usually a very traditional person and a very conventional. That means that they are not really open to new ideas. So Emily have already explained why I should be the leader in terms of the using the explanation of the big five personalities. So next is Khairul. Khairul have also already explained about the why is it important to develop trust with group members with different personalities. So the first one is about communication. So communication is essential for team building. It is also a major role in to do trust towards other teammates. So secondly, about knowing each other personally, which means that group team members must know how to know each other personally, as the leader is the most essential one because he is the one who leads the team. So definitely by ice breaking the team will make sure that the team are able to cooperate with each other. So thirdly, encourage team to be self-organized. So leaders are very essential, supposed to be a team motivator so that the team able to be self-organized and be more efficient in towards their task. So I would like to conclude everything with a final saying of a famous motivational speaker, Simon Sinek. He said that a team is not a group of people who work together, but a team is actually a group of people that trust each other. So trust is the most essential part of a team. So I would like to conclude everything, and I would like to share with you my thanks, and I would like to represent my team for thank you for lending your ears towards our group presentation. And again, I'd like to say thank you very much.